Dear audience, today I want to share an inspiring story with you about how a humble yet revolutionary idea transformed into the world's largest accommodation platform for travelers. Airbnb. The span of 15 years. The tale begins with some struggle, as co-founder Brian Chesky, just out of college, sat in his cramped San Francisco apartment, reading rejection emails from investors, yet undeterred as he prepared to write to yet another potential backer. His perseverance shone through despite the 47th refusal. Originally named Airbed and Breakfast, the service Airbnb offered was as straightforward as its name, providing air mattresses and breakfast to guests in host homes. The simple yet effective concept was sparked by the surge in hotel prices during big city events, attributed to the basic economic principle of increased demand without a corresponding increase in supply, leading to higher prices. Despite the fascinating proposition, over 40 renowned investors in Silicon Valley turned Brian away. To keep the company afloat during its precarious early days, Brian had to max out his credit cards for a few $1,000s. Fast forward 15 years, the once scoffed at idea stood as a formidable adversary to traditional hotel giants, with a market valuation around $100 billion, surpassing the combined worth of Marriott, Hilton, and Hyatt. In this video, I will discuss how two college students with a background in design, the other being Gebbia, Brian's roommate at Rhode Island School of Design, built the largest platform for travel and accommodations in just 15 years. Investors who initially declined the opportunity to fund Airbnb might be ruining their decisions now. Yet, at the time, it was not hard to turn down Brian's proposal. Based on then prevailing business and investment criteria, focusing on the idea and the team. Brian, an industrial design major, and Joe, a graphic design major, were both uncertain about their future post-graduation. Brian dabbled in design-related jobs while Joe dove into Silicon Valley's startup scene. Inspired by the success stories like that of Mark Zuckerberg and Facebook, which had sparked an entrepreneurial wave among college students. Persuaded by Joe, Brian took his life savings, a modest $1,000, to Silicon Valley. However, months passed, and they still didn't have a clear business direction, with savings dwindling and rent becoming difficult to pay. A stroke of luck occurred on September 22, 2007. Anticipating the largest North American design conference, IDSA or ICSID, and a shortage of hotel rooms, they had the idea to offer their living quarters for sleeping and breakfast for the conference attendees over 4 days. Astutely recognizing market demand, they opted for a rudimentary but urgently needed solution: air mattresses. Thus, they purchased 3 air mattresses and registered the domain name Airbed and Breakfast. All 3 spots sold out, hosting guests from Boston, India, and Utah, primarily due to the more affordable prices compared to hotels. The challenge arose post-conference as Airbed and Breakfast seemingly lost its drive. Shifting focus to the regular traveler, they expanded the scope of Airbnb, moving from air mattresses in living rooms to actual beds and bedrooms. However, new challenges awaited, as they needed to entice more hosts and secure initial investment from skeptical investors. Persistence paid off when Airbnb secured a $200,000 investment with help from the YC incubator and subsequently rebranded to Airbnb. 3 months later, they graduated from YC and received $600,000 from Sequoia Capital. What started as email exchanges between friends burgeoned into a $100 billion company.